Welcome back. Oh, look at my fucking beard. Oh yes. Welcome back to another gameplay video of No Kuni. I've been doing some quests and just trying to get a couple of trophies, trying to get as much out of the game as possible. And today was a really interesting day, especially because I didn't even know that this day was the end of the God of War review embargo. And you know, there were when we first saw God of War was somehow then. When we first seen the new God of War, I was pretty excited. It looks incredible. Gameplay wise, I was like, what to expect? It looks like much slower. And the previews actually kind of pointed out, people were teasing it that it's gonna be pretty big, in a good way. You know, there were a lot of people who were playing the game, but they couldn't really say anything about it. They were saying, just wait for your reviews. Your minds are going to be blown out. Wait for it. And today we saw the reviews and it's almost at a 9.5 on Metacritic. It probably will hit it or will just stay at 9.4. If it gets to 9.5, it just needs one more review of a 9+ review and it will be a 9.5, making it the highest rated God of War game of all time. If I'm mistaken, it will be the first or second highest rated PlayStation game of all time, beating or being as high as The Last of Us. It's at the moment the 77th highest rated game of all time, and it's the 4th highest rated game this generation. Now, you could probably say with Mario and with Zelda that the 9.7 that they have achieved on Metacritic, you know, is it really, like, there are a lot of gamers who say that, hey, if a certain game is on a Nintendo system, it gets better reviews. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I'm not going to go into some sort of fanboy rant, but the only thing I want to point out is that in both Mario and Zelda, there are definitely points of interest where I think like this is not as good as it should be, especially not in 2017. For example, graphics. It's impossible to say the graphics are great in Zelda because they're not. Same with storyline, it's impossible to say the storyline of Zelda is incredible because it's not. So the whole 9.7, like, is it really warranted? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. You know, don't give a shit. The big issue is no one was expecting the new God of War to be so fucking good. It seems that what I have read and what I have seen from gamers who play it, from Happy Console Gamer to IGN to Eurogamer to GameSpot, many of them are saying that this is one of the best action storyline game ever. I don't know what it is. You know, I haven't seen that much about God of War, but it seems that the storyline is absolutely just mind-blowing incredible. It seems that the connection between Kratos and his son is incredible. You know, a lot of people at the beginning were saying about The Last of Us, blah blah blah, but it seems that maybe it has even eclipsed you know, The Last of Us, and that the combat is incredibly fluid, and that especially the graphics, that it looks just mind-blowing on a 2013 technology, where at that time already people were saying it would be outdated. and now we're seeing graphics. There's a picture from E3 2016 and how the game looks now, and the difference is spectacular. Like, boing, holy shit. You know, so I was not expecting, I wasn't predicting pretty high scores, but I was kind of afraid that the gameplay wouldn't be as good. And now what we've read from the reviews is that people actually like the gameplay much more than the original God of War games. And what was also interesting is, I think IGN mentioned that the exploration and the side quests are actually fun to do. So I'm like, okay, there's gonna be like open segments, like special rewards maybe. You know, as I mentioned, I'm not someone who likes to review. Like, for example, Happy Console Gamer is one of my favorite YouTubers, but even I am not looking at his review for God of War because I don't want to see any type of gameplay. Yeah, sort of. But, you know, this is becoming an incredible good year, especially for Sony. And I can't freaking wait to play God of War. I'm gonna get Yakuza 6 this weekend. Oh yes, I am. So I'm gonna play Yakuza 6 first, a lot. But I've actually taken 2 days off to play God of War. It's gonna be fucking cool. What's up, Open Alpha 01? Well, even for me personally, like, is it a battle? Not really, you know. But like the effect Horizon had on myself personally, nor Zelda, nor Xenoblade, nor Mario had that same impact that Horizon had. But it's unquestionable that Zelda, Mario, and Xenoblade are incredible good games, and that I have, especially Zelda and Xenoblade, that I have enjoyed them incredibly. But the same has been said with Horizon, and I'll keep, you know, giving them like pats on the back that a developer that has only made shooters has just made one of the most interesting open world games pretty much ever, in my opinion. So that is incredible. You know, Nintendo has been making Zelda games for a very long time. Yes, there are so many gamers out there, reviewers saying this is the game of the year. Like, the only game that I've been hearing that could potentially rival God of War is Red Dead Redemption 2. Spider-Man, like, you know what the thing is that, for example, if Spider-Man is gonna be like a 9+ game, that's gonna be fucking cool. I don't like Marvel, but at the same time, I am like, if the game is really that good, I should probably support and play it. Because I'm always crying about quality, getting good games. It would be kind of, you know, talking back to myself, saying, hey Cloudkill, Insomniac make this incredible game. It may be Spider-Man, but you should support it. So I am actually working on something that potentially could force me to get the game. But you'll be hearing that in a while when I have, you know, thought about it. What is this? There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Okay, that's weird. Oh, maybe I have to go here. Oh wait, here. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, I'm not a Batman fan, but you know, I'm always saying I'm not a Marvel fan, I'm not a Batman fan, but let's be honest. On Netflix, I love watching all the Marvel series. The Marvel series on Netflix are actually pretty much the best series on Netflix. I absolutely, I liked even Iron Fist. So it's kind of weird to say I don't like Marvel, yet I love their series and their movies are pretty freaking good too. I just don't like the comics of Marvel. But even if I look at the gameplay, I'm like, oh, this looks pretty nice. So that's why I'm thinking of a way for the game to have a chance, and it will probably resolve around, you know, if the game has a Metacritic of like a 9, I would get it. Something like that. You know, I don't know if Netflix has the Batman animated series. But my point is that I also say Batman isn't really my style. Now, Batman is totally not my style, but I've never played the game. So probably if I would see Batman for like 10 bucks, will I pick it up and try it? Probably. Will I like it? Who knows? But I at least tried it. But just, you know, if you just ask me, I would rather play, you know, an anime-ish game, a mediocre anime game, than I would play a Batman game. Even though how good they are, it doesn't really matter. I'm just not really into that style of graphics, of art style. Okay. I don't see games as a battlefield. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the console war, and I do like to see what platform holder makes and releases what kind of games. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I don't give a flying shit. Even if Microsoft, you know, back in the Xbox 360 days, Microsoft had some pretty good games. You know, they released some pretty good games. I didn't give a shit. You know, I played Gears of War 1, I saw Gears of War 2, and Fable was like, it looks pretty nice, but the whole pirate stuff and guns I didn't like. I was more into the original Fable with the fantasy and stuff. What is this? Oh shit, level 48. It game time stuff, but you know what? I don't know what happened with Microsoft, but you could definitely see it on Xbox 360 where they just pumped out the same games. It was Fable, Horizon, Halo, Gears, Fable, Horizon, Halo, Gears, Fable, Horizon, again. You know, I mean, really, after 5 Gears of War games, 6 Halo games, it's the same with Sony. You know, I've mentioned it so many times when Uncharted 3 came out, when God of War Ascension came out, when they announced Uncharted 4, I was like, okay, it's time to end it. Uncharted Lost Legacy, I kind of liked because it's more open, and I loved the main character. And I like that God of War has been rebooted. It's like a new God of War and looks great. It's different. I like that. But I'm always someone who's like, make more games, make more different games. You can still make your Uncharted games, but make a couple of other games too. And that is exactly what Sony does. They have their Uncharted, they have their God of Wars, but they also have Detroit, they have Dreams, they have The Last of Us, they have other games besides just Mario, Zelda, Horizon, Gears, Kirby, Donkey Kong, whatever. But I am super excited to play God of War. What is that? Hey. Oh wait, didn't I already go here? I think I did. I probably did. Oh no, you can't even go here. What? That's really weird. How can you not go here? What is this? God of War Ascension definitely was a pretty step down, but I still liked it. I still liked Ascension, but God of War 3 had some massive hype, and they should have stopped at least that style of game. On PS3. I won't be long though, because it's actually pretty late. Where's my kingdom? Maybe I'm gonna do one Dreamscape and then call it a day. I actually worked a lot of over hours this week. Pretty good. I mean, money-wise, it's pretty good. Time-wise, oh shit! Give me the money. Oh, I got one more citizen. Where's that? Oh, here it is. Lumberyard. Or the lumberyard. I think I actually have almost no one at the lumberyard. Yeah, see? I have almost no one at the lumberyard. Okay, well, God of War game. I'm not gonna say God of War games. Games like God of War that is really about the storyline, and I mean, the original God of War games, 15 hours, 20 hours, you could go through them. I mostly played not at one sitting, but like one weekend. Where they were completed pretty easily. So I like it. Like, I love fantasy stuff, and God of War was always epic and brutal, and it looked incredible. I loved that aspect of it. But the gameplay definitely became kind of boring, especially because I have played the PSP versions too. So I didn't have much of a resting period, with God of War 3 and God of War Ascension. For example, with Yakuza, the gameplay is always the same, but it has been a year since I played the last Yakuza game. But if I would have played Kiwami, then it would have been a couple of months, and then the fatigue for its gameplay would be a bit higher than it would right now, since I haven't played the game for a freaking year. And I am totally going to try and see what the new Yakuza has to offer, because I do feel that with every Yakuza game, I play the storyline and that's it. But Yakuza games, especially nowadays, have so much content, so incredible much content, and it always feels like I'm skipping out on them. Yakuza 0 is really the first Yakuza game I played a lot after I beat the storyline. So, especially with Yakuza 6, that what I've seen has some really interesting mini games and meta games and stuff to do. I'm really going to try and also with its storyline, try to go it slowly, you know, and enjoy as much as I can. Complete research. This year, like, if you look at it, I have to admit one little thing though. This year, hey, what's up, Frizzy? Did you buy? It seems, yeah, that's something that's really interesting. It seems that the PS4 Pro, you know, is finally, especially first-party developers, are putting more interest in it, you know, more dedication to it. It seems that especially the 4K mode on PS4 Pro is absolutely beautiful to look at. And the whole game throughout, also on the original PS4, seems to run at a fluid 30 frames. On PS4 Pro at 1080p you have a performance mode that has unlocked frame rate without any judder, without any stutter. So a fluid, you know, 50, 45 frames for an incredible fluid experience. But you also has a resolution mode where probably resolution is a little bit sharper and at a locked 30 frames. So, you know, you could truly see that the PS4 Pro, I mean, it's a lot stronger than the original PS4. And finally, especially first-party studios are finally putting more effort into, you know, putting stuff out for it. If I didn't have a PS4 Pro myself, I would have bought the God of War Limited Edition, and not trying to brag or anything, but I've worked some pretty good over hours and my gaming budget is about 400 this month. So I probably could still buy the God of War PS4 Pro Limited Edition, but I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not really worth it if you already have a PS4 Pro. Yes, with Horizon you indeed have an option for a resolution that puts it at 4K. That looks pretty good. Especially you can see it, especially in a distant. Look at the fucking arms. Look at this. Well, but in the distance, you know, that resolution is a bit better, but the performance mode on Horizon is what I think the best option. Frame rate is always better, and Horizon runs at a fluid, oh my god, fluid frame rate on PS4 Pro. And on the original PS4, the game runs fluid. There's only two instances where there's going to be a little bit of a frame rate issue, and that is it. That is it. Yeah. But for me, frame rate above resolution. But I really like it that developers are giving us more options to choose from. Like, you want to have better frame rate, or do you want to have some better resolution? And you know, as I have been saying for quite some while now, I fully expect PlayStation 5 2020 backwards compatible with PS4 is gonna have some pretty good CPU to finally have that fluid 60 frames. Maybe not at 4K, but at least at 1080p. If that's the case, I'll keep my 1080p screen. If it has some sort of PlayStation 5 Pro running 4K at 60, I will get the Pro with a 4K screen for 60 frames, but I'm gonna go for the frame rate. 30 frames is good enough for me, but 60 frames is just a bit better. But before this, I want to say something about this year versus next year. And besides like Monster Hunter and No Kuni, it truly feels that this year is a lot slower for the amount of games I have played. For example, in this time last year, I played Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, I think Gravity Rush 2, but I can't remember, was it 2016? I played Neo, Yakuza 0, and Persona 5. So, if we just talk about the sheer amount of quality games, last year definitely begun better or bigger. But this year, at the end of the year, is shaping up to be incredible with Spider-Man and of course Dragon Quest XI. And who knows, maybe Final Fantasy VII, maybe Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, and God of War is the first big game, like giant game is gonna come out. So it's cool. Spyro, I can't freaking wait for Spyro. Yeah, the PlayStation, as if you have heard that there's a pretty good analyst, an insider that is actually really reliable, and he talked to many developers. Most developers don't even know there's a new PlayStation 5 coming up. They haven't heard the specs. He also said that Sony is like, we're not gonna release the PlayStation 5. Trust me on this. Mark my words. I've been saying this in many streams. Mark my words. The Last of Us 2 will be the last game for PlayStation 4, the last big AAA game from Sony. It's going to come out between January and April of 2020. Okay? At a $200 PS4. Sony hopes that it's gonna be the swan song of this generation. Probably will, but you never know. Everyone can fuck it up. At E3 2020, its main focus will be Horizon 2 and PlayStation 5. Launching at November 2020, making the PS4 7 years old. That is an incredible amount of time for a system. yeah, Frizzly, February 2020 reveal could probably happen, but as I mentioned, The Last of Us, I really see it at E3. That will be the perfect time. 2020, perfect time. You know, technology will be better, smaller, cheaper, stronger. And one of the bigger focuses is going to be on frame rate. Graphics, we are at the point where if you would have God of War graphics with a good resolution, good pop-ins, good texture quality, even in distance, at 60 frames, next generation is gonna be mind-blowing. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, we're gonna relocate personnel. I forgot which one. Idiot. Andrew, Henny, Chai Pie, and French cheese.
Say.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying at being a normal gamer. Even like someone like Happy Console Gamer who is just a gamer, I mean he has a big channel, I understand. It's kind of like, you know, I'm pretty annoyed that he got the game for free and I didn't. You know, it's kind of the, you know, it's the gamer stuff, but I don't care. I'm actually really, I'm really excited for Yakuza 6. Can't wait to play that game. So. Oh, they have more than.
Uh-huh.
Probably still not enough. Ooh. How late is it? It's pretty late. Damn it. I don't want to go too late to bed, to be honest. So I probably will end the stream now, even though I haven't really done anything. That kind of sucks. But it was still nice talking about God. Hey, what's that? About God of War. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go shower, go to bed. I apologize for this really small and really uninteresting stream, but at least thanks us for watching. Definitely thanks a lot for chatting. Frizzy the Frog, if I don't see you anymore, enjoy your PS4 Pro. It is well worth it. Really, it's well worth it. Even if you have a 1080p screen, the frame rate options, especially with Neo at 60 frames, Horizon, fluid frame rate, it is really well worth it. And so yeah, enjoy it, and like always, you're gonna see me next time. Very good, very good.